Hello, everyone. This is episode 3 of the State-Sanctioned podcast. As always, I am Jonah Marcus, and I said my last name this time.
You did?
Yes. So I hope you won't cry about it next time, because you tend to do that.
I just want, if I'm getting doxxed, you have to get doxxed.
Fine. I'm Jonah Marcus. Oh, you didn't have to, though. You just said your name willingly.
You're really going ham. We get video for one episode, and now you're putting on a whole stage play for everybody.
All right. Hi, I'm Jonah Marcus.
Oh, hi. I'm incredibly famous celebrity Louis Southern.
Of course you are. This is episode 3 of this. It's episode 3 of the State-Sanctioned podcast.
Is it really? Are we really at 3 episodes?
Yeah.
Last episode was dog shit.
It wasn't dog. It was definitely weaker than the first one. It was not dog shit.
We didn't have as great of a discussion.
Yeah.
Oh, God, my beer is foaming.
Oh, no.
I'll leave it. That's what this show is about. It's about chaos. Utter freaking chaos. Am I right, dude?
We're so fucking quirky, dude. Hell yeah.
We're Zoomers.
Yeah.
Zoomers are the apex of quirky.
Yes, yeah.
Now, Jonah, you want to tell the good people at home what this show is about?
So essentially, as of right now, I've been reporting this podcast once a week, and we bring at least 2 stories every. Thanks, brother. We bring 2 stories every week, politics related, or at least tangentially, and we talk about them, and we just bullshit, because that's what we do.
That's true, because you and I are probably the experts at politics and just the world in general.
Oh yeah,
we're the authority on how everything works.
Yeah, you got it.
Tell us if you want to ask us anything about what's going on in Zanzibar. You can, and we will give you an answer.
Yeah, and actually, there's on the
I thought you were gonna say, and actually, there is something going on in Zanzibar.
No, I was gonna say, if you have any questions, you can go to r/State-Sank podcast, and there's a post where you can comment suggestions for what we should talk about if you'd like us to.
Should we make an email?
I think we have an email.
We do?
Well, yeah, I had to in order to make the subreddit.
Why don't you make the email readily available and then people can email us?
I forget what it is off the top of my head. Hang on.
It's not just like state-sanctioned podcast?
It's something like that. I want to make sure I get it right, though. It's probably like the State-Sanctioned podcast at Outlook.com or something like that.
Ooh, Outlook.
Yeah.
What, was Hotmail taken?
It was the only one that I could make an email with. It didn't require me to give them my phone number because fuck that shit.
Yeah.
It's the State-Sanctioned podcast at Outlook.com.
No, there you go. If you want us, the political experts, to talk about a topic you feel passionately about, you can.
Yes.
So, Jonah, would you like to start us off?
You have 3 you're doing, right?
Technically, I have 3.
So why don't we do like you, me, you?
Okay, great. Okay. 2 topics, roughly serious. Last topic we're gonna say as our grand finale.
Right.
Which do you want to start with first? Donald Trump attempting to get back on social media, or the intellectual property discussion with the coronavirus vaccine, or the COVID-19 vaccine, rather?
Let's ease into the more serious stuff. Let's talk about Trump on Twitter.
Trump on Twitter. Okay. So maybe you've heard about this, but today was the ruling by the Facebook Oversight Committee.
Yeah.
That Trump is not allowed to return, and it's being credited as a major political blow because Facebook, I think, has the most outreach and connectivity to its users.
I believe Facebook is the largest social media platform, yeah.
Right. But it's also the one where I think most of your contents can be readily accessible and be spread in a more efficient manner.
Oh yeah, because Twitter is really weird about that. I don't really use Twitter, but yeah, trying to find specific tweets is kind of annoying.
I think Facebook really targets you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how else are they supposed to make ad revenue, dude? Because they don't have enough money. They don't have enough money.
They really don't.
Yeah. God, I hate Facebook. I can go on forever about them, but continue.
I made a Facebook account years ago. I think when I was in college. For the 3 weeks I was in college.
Right.
And because you needed to have one to sign up for your graduating class.
Right.
And I remember I went on there like a couple months ago, maybe last year, I think I just clicked the Facebook button on my computer because they have that.
Right.
And I clicked it, and it's like, oh, here's your account. I'm like, I have an account? Because it's been years since I went on it, and I'm like, fuck this. So I just deleted the whole thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, because mainly boomers use it. Anywho, so back to the main story. The main motivation behind trying to prevent Trump from returning to Facebook is because of the storming of the Capitol back in January. Because I think it's widely accepted that social media was a main instigator and tool to even causing that in the first place.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And it seems to be that Facebook is wanting to not replicate that, and as of now, they've set the suspension to be indefinite. And they have since said that they are going to reevaluate in 6 months.
Okay.
And I doubt that in 6 months that they will accept him. Even then,
it kind of just seems like an empty promise to try and like quell people.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think it's just, okay, this is what I don't get with this sort of thing with like conservatives, because capitalism is all about free enterprise and corporations being allowed to do whatever the hell they want.
Right.
If they want to give their workers mercury poisoning, they can, because God and the founding fathers would want that.
Yes.
Do you remember that story?
Wait. You're actually referencing.
That's a real thing.
Really?
It was during the Trump era. Some weird department or group pulled back worker safety laws.
Sounds about right.
And
that's what Trump did.
Yeah, and they let certain plants ease up on mercury poisoning prevention.
Oh no, I had heard that he had rolled back environmental protections for
I'm sure
dumping stuff, but like that's what you're referring to. Are you referring to something different? Okay.
Yes. No, I remember I saw that one day, and I sent it to our conservative friend, who has now been mentioned on all 3 episodes of the podcast. Yeah. And he, because I wanted to just rub it in his face, is like, thank God Trump is now allowing our workers to be poisoned by mercury. It's all I ever wanted. I think I even made that joke. It's like, this is what the founding fathers wanted. God bless America. Anywho,
what did he say?
I don't remember.
Oh.
He probably was like, fuck yeah. But despite that crushing blow that Trump is no longer allowed on Facebook, he has returned. He has risen.
Really?
Amen. Because he is now back on Twitter. The legend who coined what's the exact tweet? Diet Coke.
I've never seen a skinny person drink Diet Coke. I've never seen it.
That's
it's
not
very sad.
That's not the one I'm thinking about.
Oh.
It's like, the Coca-Cola Corporation doesn't like me. That's okay. I'll keep drinking that garbage. That's the one I'm talking about.
No.
But no, that's the one thing I'll say about him. His fucking Twitter, a lot of bangers.
Yeah.
A lot of bangers.
Because he just says the first thing that pops into his head. That was his whole presidency.
Has he been banned? I haven't checked. Oh, no, here it is. He's returned on Twitter. It's no longer, the way they're framing it is that he is not directly in charge of the account.
Okay.
They're framing it, the account is called From the Desk of Donald Trump.
Oh, so it's like his office's Twitter account.
Right, because now he's sort of set up a White House 2 in Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
Have you seen his office?
I haven't seen. I know he has one. I haven't seen the office.
His office he's trying to replicate the Oval Office as much as possible. Like, he even has like a sort of makeshift Oval. What's the desk called? It has an official name.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember either. But he has like a fake presidential desk, and he has all the shit that he had in his Oval Office.
Man, he's like the guy that peaked in high school and just can't move on. You know?
Yeah, he's keeping his varsity jacket on. You know, he just.
So he's literally.
He really is.
Oh my god.
But in his new Twitter, they've since deleted the tweets. Earlier, he was tweeting. Okay. Because it's verbatim his sort of dialect.
Right.
You know, he talks in a very specific way. And he was tweeting. They've since deleted the tweets, and they were also transcribing he has like a newsletter now.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I know he has something on his website that's like basically just a blog.
It is a blog.
Yeah.
Well, it's I say newsletter because it's technically like a mail chain.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, he sends it to his followers, and it's shit like I don't know, like ate a Big Mac today, not enough pickles on it, complete bullshit, and those are like the full extent to his memos. Now, of course.
So it's not like give me money so we can overturn this very fraudulent election. So it's like dumb shit like he would tweet.
It
before.
really is. It's just Twitter too for him.
It's Twitter too. Get people get in their fucking.
It is,
mailbox.
but he's clearly not getting his fix. Because he's made this.
I've heard people say, and I honestly completely agree with this, that he's probably more pissed about being banned off Twitter than he is about losing the election.
Oh no, he is. Because like I said earlier, say what you will, he was a pro at Twitter.
Yeah, no, he was
a king. And I mean, he threatened to destroy Iran on Twitter. Like, that's the type of guy we're dealing with.
Right.
He's cyberbullied Iran. As I was saying, since then they've deleted the tweets, and now he is just tweeting out links to his website. Okay. So I guess they're trying to distance this account as far away from possible as his original account. Right. But he's trying to make a very, I guess in this case, strategic effort to get his agenda back onto social media platforms. And I know with the Facebook debacle, he was specifically saying like, oh, this is an infringement upon my freedom of speech and whatnot, all that bullshit, despite the fact that like it is a company and they're allowed to do whatever the hell they want, and it's a capitalistic society. Right. So like you can't have your cake and eat it too in this situation. Yeah. You can't say like, oh, I love businesses. I love it when corporate boots are on my neck, and then also be like, oh, these corporations are being nasty to me.
It's like when didn't the MLB pull out of Georgia or something due to the voting rights law, and then like
the Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
I thought it was basketball.
Was one of them, but yeah, they're all going, they're losing their shit because it's like, well, this is political in nature and companies shouldn't be involved in politics. Like, well, you kind of let them. You not only do you let them exist.
My beer keeps foaming and it's pissing me off.
You need to drink it more slowly.
Thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome. Dad. Yeah. It's like these people like
beer connoisseur Jonah Marcus here.
These people like they love free market capitalism but don't like the consequences.
When it affects them.
That being said, generally like,
and no to cancel culture, but we're allowed to boycott whatever we want.
Yes, or go buy planks of wood at Home Depot.
I'm here at the Home Depot. And look, what did he say? Look at this wood.
Look at this fine something. I forget what it was.
What a virgin. What a fucking lame asshole. If you don't know what we're talking about, Ben fucking Shapiro, friend of the show, he went to Home Depot and bought a single piece of wood and put it in a plastic bag. And was like, I bought this piece of wood because I love Home Depot and I love America. And that was the extent of his argument.
Basically.
And he owned the libs.
He fucking killed us.
Destroyed.
We will never recover.
Ben Shapiro's slaughtering Jutes left and right.
Yeah, what a guy. Now, I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about Trump and social media because, like,
you should have kept it off. I have a lot of mixed feelings about Trump.
Well, no, I don't like Trump. Full stop. But
wow, controversial statement.
Yeah. That being said, like, I have a weird stance on like deplatforming in general because
it's censorship.
Yeah, it is, and it's like
this is a type of censorship that's sort of beneficial if that dude is trying to fan the flames of supremacy and hatred,
right?
And literally cause a historical event that we witnessed in real time.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, like, I get it. I understand why he was banned. Like, he did instigate a coup attempt on the U.S. Capitol, but
that's bad. But the memes, though, you want him to tweet his bangers.
No, but like. When you do a form of deplatforming, I'm always apprehensive of that slippery slope, and just like, even though deplatforming works, even though that's probably not how you should think about it. I don't like think about
Parler
it that way.
come back?
Oh, did they?
I think so.
Yeah, it's just,
Well, that's the thing. If you look, he has a website and he does have a newsletter. Yeah. Like if he wants to get his message out there, the people will listen. Yeah. And these websites, they are private companies. They're allowed to do whatever they want.
Yeah. It's just, I still am just uneasy
He's also
about
the fucking ex-president of the United States. If he wants to go on the news, I'm sure he can.
It's not
if
that
he has something very important.
It is more of a matter of principle for me. Like, just the idea of banning like someone because of their political views. Now, again, it wasn't because of political views. It's because he started a
riot.
Right, a riot, like a historical riot, as you said. And it's just like, I don't know. I still, like, I get it.
When you go into the historical event territory, I don't think there's any going back.
I know. And I get it. But, oh, shit. I get it. But it's like.
The audio is peaked.
You're going
to kill us.
I'm still just, I don't know. I'm weird about it. But I get it. I think Facebook ultimately the right decision, even though, again, I'm iffy about it.
Listen, I don't like Mark Zuckerberg.
No.
I don't like Facebook. I think they're trying to do. You ever see that Onion article where it's like, Facebook must make decision. They must now conference the cube of knowledge, and there's like an empty room, and there's a floating cube in the center.
No,
and it's Mark Zuckerberg like gesturing towards it, like God to
that.
Adam in the painting. It's really that's what I imagine Facebook is like.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I don't trust any social media platform.
No.
And most of the popular ones are either owned by the same company. Like Instagram's owned by Facebook.
Right.
And even Messengers are owned by Facebook.
Like YouTube's owned by Google. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that sort of I remember when TikTok had that big debacle of China's stealing your private information. It's like, yes, only American companies can steal your private information.
Right.
And I don't know. Like at the end of the day, I'm okay. I'm okay with Trump not being on social media because I think this has been good for the country.
Yeah.
Because he no longer has that sphere of influence. And anytime you do see him, it's just plain old sad. Mm-hmm. Like the video of him at the bar mitzvah, where it's just him showing up at some random kid's fucking bar mitzvah and whining about how he lost.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I agree with Trump's ban mostly. And I'm okay with I agree that the effect has been positive. I just worry what this could potentially lead to in terms of like
you're not going to get censored, Jonah.
No, I know I'm not. But this
when you're retweeting your hentai, like I'm sure everything's going to be okay.
It's just this thing does affect the left and the right, and just when you talk about anybody that challenges power in any capacity, that they are a risk, And so it's like.
Yeah, but that's almost contradictory because if you have someone in power, I'm sure they can find a way to spread their message regardless.
No, that's the thing. I'm talking more of a matter of principle and a matter of generality rather than Trump specifically. Mm-hmm. Trump can fucking talk to whoever he wants, really.
Well, anyone in a political sphere of influence can talk to whoever they want. If
right.
They need, that's the sort of argument. If they have such an important message, they are in that position. They can go on the news.
They can,
and they can talk to the people they want to talk to. Like they have that opportunity. It's just, I like social media is an entirely different beast because they're not obligated to spread your message.
Yeah,
like you are just another user on the platform, no matter who you are.
Yeah,
which is why I see it as kind of like a fairly equal thing. It'd be one thing if that's why like Trump was constantly violating the terms of service, and they never kicked him off.
Yeah, and I
during
think
his entire presidency,
for as much as for this
because he was the president.
Yeah, and for as horrible as his messaging was, again, I don't like the idea of banning someone just for their political views. It's only when you have something like starting a riot.
But as I said, like he violated terms of service and never got banned. It wasn't until he instigated the riot.
Yeah,
if anything, that's just fairness coming into play.
Yeah,
after all that time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if he's doing it, it shouldn't matter whoever he is. It should all be under. Everybody should be treated equally in that regard.
My thing is though, like for terms of service, I feel like terms of service should be roughly on par with like what freedom of speech is, because there's limitations of freedom of speech. You can't. What?
Bernie Sanders over here about to smack me in the face.
There's limitations to freedom of speech, but
everybody is entitled to Twitter. Everybody is entitled to Facebook.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like if you obviously you can't like do direct acts of violence. You can't dox people. I think like stuff like that is kind of.
You can't dox people.
I don't think you're supposed to. You shouldn't be able to.
Oh my God, I'm in trouble.
But it's like
I already posted your address on 47 different websites.
Who's gonna kill me? Nobody hates me that much.
Cares
exactly. But you're like, yeah, I don't know.
Just get swatted immediately.
Yeah, my thing is just like I feel like terms of service should be roughly on par with what the limitations of free speech are and kind of end there personally.
Okay.
Just because like yes, it is a private company, But like in many ways, social media is like sort of the new town square, so to speak. Like that's how people spread their opinions on things.
It's the new stump.
Yeah.
You're allowed to go up there. You could be the village idiot. You go up and start, or the town crier. That's what it was. You go up and you're like, hear thee, the king. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. No, that's kind of what I'm referring to, actually.
Really?
Like sort of,
Wow.
yeah. No, the village idiot. Yeah, or or whatever.
The town crier.
Town crier. Yeah. Yeah. Like everybody should be allowed to say what they want to say, even if it's on a private platform, until of course you do something that blatantly violates even the limitations of free speech. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Trump, I think it's fair to say he did.
He did.
You know, so fine.
Well, it wasn't just him. They wiped out a bunch of his followers too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You just don't want. I just see it as totally justified. You know, I think they're allowed to do whatever they want. It's the same. This is why I already mentioned it. I don't get the conservative argument of how can you promote capitalism and then go against it at the same time when you don't get your way.
Well, I don't. So I'm not a hypocrite in that sense.
Okay, yeah. I guess that's what I'm going at, the hypocrisy.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I guess that's it for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I just reporting that more so than having some witty retort about it. Just like, this is what it is.
Okay, cool.
But I did mention it. It's just, I love the bar mitzvah videos or the wedding videos of him just showing up. That's like the fucking Babadook showing up to, or like a serial killer showing up to your fucking event. Could you imagine you are celebrating something with your family and friends, and all of a sudden the ex-president of the United States shows up, grabs a mic, and starts talking about himself? Anyway, I won the election.
I won the election. It was stolen.
I'm going to win. We're counting the votes, and who knows what's going to happen? He looks rough. Have you seen him?
I've seen a little bit, yeah.
He looks like he's a fucking walking corpse. Here, this is a question to ask. Do you think he's going to run in 2024? I don't think he will.
Oh, well, here's the thing. If he runs, he gets the Republican nomination.
You really think he will?
Oh, yeah, dude. He's still the Republican favorite. I would be very surprised if he does run, that he doesn't get the nomination. Right? Because who are the other options? Like Nikki Haley, Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton? Like, those people suck.
I don't think he can pull a Grover Cleveland.
What do you mean?
Because Grover Cleveland was president for a term, then somebody else was, and then Grover Cleveland came back.
I'm talking about the Republican primary. In terms of the general, I think it... I mean, listen, if we get someone like as unlikable as Kamala, like maybe, but even then, like,
you don't think Biden's going to live to the next election? You don't think he's going to survive all that way?
He's going to be 82 by the time his term's up. Who the fuck wants to run for president at 82? When I'm at 82,
Bernie was 78 when he ran.
Yeah, but he's not going to run again.
No.
Yeah, probably 83.
You ever see that meme where it's like, babe, it's 4 a.m. time for your third election or a third presidential campaign? It's just Bernie Sanders deflated.
Oh no, I haven't seen that. But that's that's about it. Although Bernie Sanders genuinely, I think, cares and is very sincere.
No, he's the only good politician.
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't. Okay, I don't want to talk about this because this is kind of a controversial opinion. While I like AOC, I think she's kind of like
weak.
I wasn't gonna say that.
No,
I was thinking like, I think she very much likes being in the limelight.
Yes,
and
she does.
It's more so like because she was on Twitch playing Among Us with streamers, and I can get that she's trying to appeal to younger audiences, and that's kind of a smart tactic because she's going to use her fame in the long run. That's sort of playing the long con. Wants to be Bernie 2.0 for the future, and I'm sure when she's old enough, she'll run for president. Mm-hmm. But I also feel I kind of agree with you, but I wouldn't use such harsh words.
Sure, okay.
Where maybe she's not entirely agenda focused and does have that sort of. And I can't blame her for doing this, but she does have that politician in her that wants to have the limelight and wants to like play into the pageantry. As opposed to like a Bernie type who I think is 100% genuine and doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think she believes what she says. I think she wants the things she says she wants. But like when push comes to shove to actually kind of like put power feet to the fire, she doesn't really do it. And this goes to the whole squad, by the way. It's like Ilhan Omar, Ro Khanna, it's all of them.
They're more bark than bite.
Yes, exactly. And I think
to be fair, Bernie kind of is too.
There was a
Bernie
point.
Tries.
He tries, and there was a point where he would like hold bills hostage to get amendments.
But he's also just old now.
Yeah, there's that too. It's just their value.
I don't know. We have video now, so I'm just having fun with it.
They're valuable in the sense that they push the general public discourse in the right direction, but they don't really like fight the leadership.
Right.
So that's the thing that just frustrates me.
They're also young, so they kind of have to do that in order to maintain the longevity of their political careers.
If they get shit done, if they actually get shit done, they can be like, look,
you want to tell the girl squad to get shit done, gatekeep girl boss? You want to tell them what to do? Jonah, last time I checked, you're a cis white male.
Oh, excuse me. You're right.
Dude. These are the hot takes you'll get on the State-Sanctioned podcast.
Yeah,
Whoa, controversial.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it. That's all I got to say.
Okay,
Even
great.
though you're the last person to say anything about that. So,
Cool,
you want to go into your topic?
Sure. Which one should we talk about? Okay. So, I don't know about you, Lewis. I don't like the spring.
You don't like the what?
The spring, the season.
The spring?
Yeah. You know why?
As in the season?
I just said that, yeah. Because I get allergies. My allergies
are you allergic to pollen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, poor you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, turns out that allergies and global warming are related. So, here, let me pull up the article.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Because that sounds stupid. That doesn't sound real.
So, scientists have made this connection before, but a recent study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences that analyzed long-term pollen data found that pollen concentrations have increased over 21% in North America, and the allergy season is over 20 days longer than it was in 1990. And this was data gathered from 60 weather stations all across North America, and they found that global warming, human-caused climate change, is the main reason. There's a couple reasons for why this is. Number one, higher levels of...
How about this, Einstein? Climate change isn't real. You ever stop to think about that?
I've been thoroughly destroyed.
Last winter it snowed, Jonah. Checkmate. Checkmate, buddy.
Yeah.
Looks like you just lost. Sorry to get all based on you.
Yeah. Well, I'm just blue pilled as fuck, and look at you.
I'm sorry. Continue. Yeah.
So. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. Higher levels of CO2 in the atmosphere lead to plants blooming more, because obviously plants take CO2 as
Yeah,
food.
but is that so bad?
Let me finish. And also, when pollen interacts with pollutant like particulates, it causes them to explode, which makes the pollen even finer, which can irritate even relatively healthy lungs, making you more susceptible to things such as viral infections that enter through your respiratory system. Thank God we haven't been dealing with one of those, right? Right?
Why? Because we smoke?
No, I was talking about COVID, dude.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. That virus we've been dealing with the past year and a half.
I've been too busy coughing on strangers to remember that we're in a pandemic.
So,
I got vaccinated, so I can go back to doing what I was doing before the pandemic.
Congratulations.
Coughing on babies and orphans.
And so, on top of that, pollen since 1990 is now more concentrated than it once was. So you need less pollen to have an allergic reaction. So this is basically just affecting the respiratory health of essentially everyone, especially people with, pre-existing like respiratory conditions. But even those with relatively healthy lungs, it can still affect them.
So you're saying people who maybe had minor pollen allergies will now receive a stronger reaction.
That, and also even people who don't have an allergy, the finer pollen can fuck with their respiratory system. And it's primarily because of climate change, because of higher levels of CO2 and pollution.
But isn't that nature basically going back to the way it was? Trying to retake the earth,
trying to overcompensate for the damage we're doing to it,
pretty much
in a way that harms our health. Sure,
trying
I
to
guess.
kill off the humans to save the earth as a whole.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It doesn't.
And is there anything? Is that really so bad, Jonah?
Is it really? Is the eradication of the human race as a result of our own foolish actions really that bad? You know what? That's a good question. But
I think we deserve it.
Yeah, it just seems like no matter how many warning cries.
Have you seen the coral reef, dude?
May I talk?
But the coral reef.
Yeah,
Finding Nemo?
It doesn't look very good now.
No, it looks white, like snow. And guess what? Snowed last winter. Checkmate, bitch. Anyway, you were saying?
I can't do a segment with you, Jesus Christ.
No, please continue. I won't interrupt anymore.
Essentially, I'm basically done. The point of this is The Earth will scream about how we're destroying it, and we're just like, what's that? Profit? Well, fucking get out of here. We need this. This is more important.
Well, okay, what exactly are we doing that's causing the pollen to react this way?
Well, higher levels of CO2 and
okay.
Pollution particulates in the atmosphere. So basically, everything.
Yeah, basically all of human activity.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, okay. I don't know. Whenever I think about climate change, I think I joked about it, but I do believe it in a way, too. I think we entirely deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, but if we actually took it more seriously than we do, and
we
really,
won't, because capitalism.
Yeah, and also just basically that's the main reason.
Yeah,
and it's just, and this is just something I came across by accident, and it's like, wow, literally everything we're doing is destroying the planet, and it's going to come back to bite us in the ass.
What do you think? Now that's a serious thing, because the way you're describing it sounds like it's going to medically affect people.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt that that's actually going to generate a reaction from anybody.
No.
What do you think is it going to take for people to be like, okay, climate change is real and we got to deal with it?
Honestly, I think, I don't know. I think that we could literally be living in a world where where the air we breathe is poison and people will still deny it. Like, I really think that...
Like, everybody has to walk around in gas masks. We'd end up in the Wall-E future before we would...
Leave Earth, yeah.
Yeah.
To destroy the planet?
I mean, like, Wall-E future, except we don't leave...
Yes, I literally...
Excuse me, we don't leave Earth to become giant fat slobs. We stay on Earth in like a Mad Max type of... We just wear gas masks and chill in the garbage and trash and
but
breathe in horrible dust and sand.
But it's like at that point it's too late, you know? Like there's a point of no return where we can't feasibly cut back human activity quickly enough to stop it. You know, like that's what people say. Like,
so you're saying that we would probably take it to the point of no return, or we by the time we make it to the point of no return, that's when we would recognize it when it's too late.
Yes. The point of no return, by the way, is supposed to be very soon, like 2030.
You know, climate change has ruined New York for me because whenever you go to Union Square, they no longer have the clock. They have the countdown clock to when humanity's supposed to be decimated.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that walking through New York with you. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's a great dystopian thing we have now. A literal countdown clock to the end of the world.
Man, I love that. I love that we're so negligent and so just... utterly
instead
ignorant.
of doing anything about it, we're just going to put a clock.
I mean, hopefully that makes people think about it, but it's not. Yeah.
People just look at it and say, that's... Your average person who doesn't know anything about it would look at it and say, that's strange. Clocks normally count upwards, not downwards. Why are the seconds going down? Somebody should fix that. Anyway, time to go to the Lego store.
Time to go to the Lego store. Time to take my Hummer to the Lego store and then
to buy a Death Star, so I can build it by myself in my kitchen.
And then go to my job as a coal miner. Well, you wouldn't be a coal miner in New York City, but you know what I mean.
Everyone knows of the legendary New York City coal mines. That's what most New Yorkers do.
Anyway, yeah. So. That's it. Just, we're destroying the planet and we'll do nothing about it.
Your thesis statement is climate change is bad.
Climate change is bad. We're destroying the planet. We'll do nothing about it and we'll all cease to be able to breathe at some point.
We're all going to die.
Seriously? Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were just gesturing to me like he's right.
Yeah. Well, yes. That's a double meaning. Two meanings.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Do you have anything else? Any other riveting commentary to say
that
climate change is bad?
I mean, you literally... Okay, what did you give me? You just said, hey, we're fucking up the Earth more, and we're all going to die. And I'm like, yeah. I agree.
And I just gave an example that most people probably don't know about. So
that's true. Now you know.
Yeah, now you know.
If you have pollen allergies, guess what? There's more pollen than usual.
And if you have asthma...
You're dead.
Yeah.
Natural selection, baby. Charles Darwin just didn't want you here.
Charles Darwin's
it's
the arbiter.
The arbiter. It's his fault. And Charles Darwin flew into the ozone layer and put that hole in it. That's what really capped us off for the human race.
Yeah.
All right, you want me to go into my next one?
Sure.
Okay, the next one's kind of a serious one. So today, there's been a debate recently about the intellectual property rules on the COVID-19 vaccine. Because certain individuals and organizations are trying to stop the widespread access of the vaccine in favor of more capitalistic gains.
As far as I understand it, the pharmaceutical companies that manufacture this,
they don't want to share it.
They don't want to keep... they want to hold on to the patents Because basically what a lot of poor countries like India, what they're asking for is, hey, can we have the patents so we can make the vaccines ourselves? And they're like, what? No. And
Vaccines at this hour? No way.
Yeah.
Oh, your people are dying because of the virus and I have the only medicine for it? Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
There is another part I want to talk about that's part of this. But anyway, so they've all been doing that. But today, fortunately, the United States government has said that they will not support such a thing.
Okay.
And because of that, all the pharmaceutical company stock have dropped. They've plunged.
Fuck them. Fuck them all.
Because it's all leaning towards that the intellectual property rights are going to be waived.
Thank God.
And if that happens, then there's going to... You know what? I not to interrupt my own thought, but I feel as though we're going through these so quickly that you can probably bring up your third news story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your third, you mean?
No, your third, because you had three, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Because we were going to talk about my third one regardless.
Right.
Yeah, so this has all just been good news. It's just the United States government supports not hoarding the patent for the vaccine. And with that, it looks like it's going to be widely distributed to countries that don't have as much of the vaccine as we do. I'm
actually really surprised to hear that because the pharmaceutical companies gave Biden a lot of money for his inauguration.
I'm sure they did.
And so, yeah, because he deliberated this for a long time. Like, should I let these people die or should I not? I don't know. It's a rough decision. I'm glad
money
that...
Money or death? What will it be?
Yeah, so I'm glad. I'm actually surprised to hear this, but very pleasantly so.
Yeah, no, it's good news, and it's sad because when you hear about what's going on in other countries, a lot of them are really suffering because they don't have as much as the vaccine as we do.
Yeah,
and I know like Canada is really trying to enforce lockdown laws as opposed to trying to do the vaccine.
Okay,
and I think that's a fault more so of the government of trying to obtain the vaccine. And I know India is really going through a terrible spike of the COVID right now.
Yeah. Definitely.
So this seems to be like a pretty good expansion of trying to stop the pandemic and return things back to some sense of normalcy. But, as of right now, nothing's set in stone. It's just
gesturing.
The government's saying one thing, doing it is another thing.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess that remains to be seen, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
Probably naively so, but I am hopeful.
That seems to be the one thing about this administration, the Biden administration. They seem to have a lot of good intentions, and we talked about this last episode, I think. We just don't know yet about the follow-through. Like, you could support it, but you gotta wait it out, and that's the terrible thing about it.
That's kind of... It seems to be Biden's thing. He says a lot of the right things, but when he goes to do it...
But we don't know yet.
Right, exactly.
We gotta wait it out, and waiting's the true testament to all things, I guess.
Yeah, you think he'll just kind of wait it out till people forget about it, and then just move on?
Until he fucking just dies? I'm gonna personally give everyone the vaccine. And then dies?
He just fucking dies, yeah. Well, that'd be the ultimate cop-out.
And then you can't say anything bad about him because he's dead.
Yeah, right.
All you have to say, he was a good man.
He was a good man.
He was a good man, a good leader. He did what he could.
Yeah.
That's funny. But I did want to bring up, because of this, tangential news. Friend of the show, Bill Gates. He was in support of withholding the patents to the vaccine.
Fucking course he was.
And then a couple days later, his wife divorced him. So you know what that means? Bill Gates is back on the market, boys.
Why did his wife divorce him? Do we know?
Nobody knows.
Oh, okay.
Probably because he named his fucking company Microsoft.
Fucking bitch.
I saw a good tweet where somebody's like, of course a fucking nerd would name his company Microsoft as opposed to Macro Hard. Yeah, but poor Bill. So you gonna hit Melinda Gates? What's her maiden name?
I have no idea.
Neither do I.
Well,
that's why this podcast is officially sexist.
Yes.
We hate women. Sandy, let's talk to our female co-host. Oh wait, there is.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I can't wait for somebody to snip that bit out.
Who?
Yeah, nobody.
One of our fans. We don't have those.
One of our fans.
Yeah.
Our enemies of the show. Name 3 of the enemies of the show. Ben Shapiro. No, he's a friend
you,
of the show. Oh yeah,
me, and
God.
God. Yes, you, me, and God. We're the enemies of the show.
Okay.
All right. So
that's my news. That's just good news.
Yeah, it is absolutely. Well, conditional good news.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, how do you feel about guns, Lewis? Tell the world what a fascist you are.
I just hate guns, and it's due to some personal experiences.
Okay.
But I hate guns with all my heart.
Okay. See, I'm more pro-gun than that.
Jonas showed me his entire gun collection. He showed me his revolver by pointing it to my head and asking me if I believe in God.
who? That was some cult leader. Who's that again?
No, it wasn't. That was Dylan and Eric. Columbine.
Oh, right. Oh, no, I'm thinking cult thing. I'm thinking of Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Drinking Kool-Aid.
But anyway, so last week, the Supreme Court voted to take up a case involving Second Amendment rights. So essentially, in 2008, I believe it was, they ruled that you don't necessarily have the right to carry outside of your home. The only right you have as a gun owner is to have a gun in your home.
Okay.
And in states like New York, being able to like get a gun to carry is actually very, very, very hard.
Right.
And so they're basically taking it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's going to hear that case. I believe
And
in
this is
October.
against open carry.
This is in favor of open carry.
Oh, in favor of open carry. Okay.
And I don't know if it's open carry. No, I think it's concealed carry.
Yeah.
Because right now there's when it comes to carrying guns outside your home, there's unregulated, there's may issue, and there's can issue. Unregulated is just unregulated.
Right.
Can issue.
I could take my rifle to the Walgreens so I could buy M&Ms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can issue is you have to apply for a permit, but as long as you meet the requirements of the permit, you get it.
Okay.
May issue is even if you meet the requirements for the permit, you won't necessarily get it. You have to often provide a reason, like, oh, you carry a lot of money, or you have some other need for self-defense.
Okay.
So essentially, this is challenging may issue states, where it's like if you meet the requirements that the state has, and granted, the state can have pretty strict requirements.
Sure.
But if you meet the requirements, you get it, right? And so it's essentially a case on that. This is a 6-3 conservative court. I think it's honestly it's 50-50 as to how this will go. They might say like you can't have may issue, right? Personally, I'm a guy who likes guns.
You bring it with you everywhere you go.
Yeah, I have it right now. See, yeah.
I'd be fucking scared if you just whipped out a pistol. Yeah, here it is. Yeah.
No, I don't own guns, unfortunately.
I don't think I'd ever own a gun in my life.
Fair enough. Yeah.
If somebody broke into my home, I'd rather fucking kill him with a kitchen knife than fucking kill him with a gun.
Really? I feel like with a gun, it's further removed.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it is.
I don't mean just physically.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I mean, like, you don't... Like
because the bullet can go from here to there in the matter of a fucking click.
I mean more in, like, a personal thing. Like, if you're like, stabbing someone versus if you're shooting them from far away, you're less, like, emotionally...
Have you ever fired a gun?
I have, actually.
So have I.
Okay.
Because when I was a kid, my uncle used to take me hunting.
Okay.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know. I don't mind. I'm actually not that bad of a shot.
Yeah, okay.
Believe it or not.
I believe it.
And yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it I don't trust.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. But yeah, so this is essentially a case about like being able to conceal carry.
I also just don't like having guns in the home. You know what I mean? Because like, there's so many stories of like little kids finding guns, and you know they're like, oh, what's this? And then they fucking shoot their head off.
Oh no, there's definitely people that are extremely irresponsible, keeping guns like in their bedside drawers and shit. Like my grandfather was a hunter. He keeps all his guns.
Grandpappy Marcus.
Grandpappy Willets, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He keeps all his guns in a
way to dox your grandpa.
In a locked case. And when I was a kid, I honestly wanted to just kind of hold one of them, but I couldn't because it was locked. Because he's a somewhat responsible.
See, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's like you wanted to hold it.
Yeah, but he kept it locked. I couldn't get any if I wanted to.
That's true.
So
you didn't shatter the glass of the case.
You know, I wasn't that smart as a kid, personally.
Okay, I don't think that's a matter of smarts.
Well, no, because it wouldn't have even occurred to me, right? Also, I didn't want it that badly. It was just,
that's true.
Yeah, but yeah. So this is about like the Second Amendment. I'm of the belief that you never want to be in a situation where the owner class has firearms, but the working class doesn't. You know,
everyone needs a gun,
or just like you know, you don't want one particular
Do you
group.
want to give our teachers guns too, so they could kill the school shooter?
No,
Okay.
I don't believe that. I think there's other issues. There's other things you need for like. I'm in favor of some level of gun control. I'm okay with background checks. I'm okay with waiting periods. Waiting periods do save lives, actually. Like so, like a lot of times when people like kill themselves.
I'm sure the dudes who want to kill women because they're incels and they have to wait for a gun. I'm sure the new Resident Evil game comes out and then they forget all about it while they're on the wait list.
Yeah, while they're being thrown across the room by lady. What's her name?
Yeah, that game came out with the tall lady.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it came out today.
Oh.
I've had so many dreams with the tall lady.
You've told me that.
And none of them have been sexual, which is the weirdest part.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought they were.
None of them sexual.
When you told me that, I thought you were implying they were.
Yeah. It sounds like, oh man, saucy dreams, but no, we're just hanging out.
I'm just hanging out with this like 9-foot vampire.
I don't know what it is. I just wanted to throw me around.
Hell yeah, dude.
Anyway, you're talking about people killing people?
Yeah, like if a lot of times in cases of like suicide or even like homicide, it's people making like split second, like like if somebody's already suicidal and they have a particularly bad day, that could be enough. And
then the next day they eat an ice cream cone and they're like, you know what, maybe it's not so bad after all.
Literally, yes.
Yeah. And
so it's like waiting periods, background checks, stuff like that. Like I'm okay with some levels of gun control, but I think people should be able to like carry firearms.
Yeah, I'm not. While I don't like guns, I'm not the one to say ban all guns.
Right.
Like I just don't agree with semi-automatic. I believe that's the thing that those are the most destructive guns you can have on the market right now, at least legally. Yeah,
I mean there was actually I think there was some research done on that. If you get rid of like assault weapons, it doesn't really meaningfully impact crime.
I'm not thinking about crime. I'm thinking about mass shooting. Like I'm thinking like you want to remove all guns where it's easier to gun down like a slew of people in one kind of round.
Right. I'm okay with having the restrictions on those guns being difficult. I'm just not sure how I feel about banning them outright. And honestly, if that ever goes to the Supreme Court, it's not gonna hold.
This country's built on guns. There's no way they're ever going to ban it.
Yeah. I think also part of the problem,
which is sad,
yeah,
because a lot of countries, our allies, have banned them or at least created super strict gun laws.
Yeah.
And they no longer have as many mass shootings as we do.
Well, part of the thing also is like of our healthcare system and how like fucked it is, and how like you cannot reasonably access like mental health care,
right?
Like with if you're poor, yes. or even if you're like kind of middle class, like a lot of times insurance just will screw you out of it. Whereas like in other countries, like it's a right. Mental health care is a right. Like could you imagine like being entitled to health care?
In other countries, just regular health care is a right.
Yeah. All forms of health care is a right in many countries.
Oh, you have cancer? Yeah. How about $50,000 before we do anything about it?
Yeah,
bitch.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And it's like I think that's part of the problem too. I think if we had more access, and also removing the stigma.
Well, way to go, chump! Got diabetes? Fuck you.
No, and also removing the stigma, like especially with like men. Like there is definitely a stigma, like men taking care of their mental health,
right?
And a lot of times it's overwhelmingly men that do these.
You don't want to be a man and just deal with it and internalize all of your issues.
No, I do. Please. I swear to God, my masculinity is a castle.
I'm a man. I'm fine. Just don't bring up my dad, otherwise I'll cry for 2 hours.
Yeah, no, it's
literally how it is though. Like when somebody, I remember I saw like a story where somebody just asked somebody else like, "Hey, are you all right?" And then they just bawled, like they just started crying.
Yeah, no, I think I don't know. I have a weird feeling about guns because like if you show me something that very definitively brings down.
If you show me a gun, I'll say that's pretty badass.
If you show me something that definitively like has a meaningful impact on gun crime, and especially if it doesn't like massively impact someone's ability to like a law-abiding person's ability to own a gun, like again, waiting periods, background checks, stuff like that. Okay, fine. But it's like when you're talking about just like things that wouldn't really have a huge impact on violent crime, but like would still prevent people from having certain guns. It's just like I don't see the point.
Hypothesis. What if we banned all types of gun except one? Let's say like a standard pistol is the only gun every person can buy. Would you be okay with that?
I don't think I would.
Why not?
Because like I think that there's reasons why you would want like a different type.
Like a rifle?
Like a rifle, or even like a shotgun or something like that.
Why?
Well,
why does the average working man, why does the dude who works at Dunkin' Donuts need a shotgun?
Well, actually, if you're talking about like home invasions, shotguns are actually probably one of the safer versions because like
how?
Because there's more of a spread, right? So if you
Exactly.
if you shoot someone from far away, right? You shoot someone from far away with a pistol.
If you shoot someone, you don't want to shoot someone from far away with a shotgun.
Exactly, because if you hit them and it turns out they're not. It sounds kind of fucked up, but if it turns out they're not the person that was
saying that it's better to have shotguns because if you shoot someone who's accidentally your friend, they have a higher chance of survival?
Yes. Well, no,
that's what's fucked up about America. That you could shoot your pal and say my bad, and then it's okay.
That happens a lot because you have a right.
Yeah, Dick Cheney did that once.
No, Dick Cheney's a fucking idiot. But like, you have the right to defend yourself in your home. You know. But it's like accidental shootings do happen.
Do you realize how insane that sounds for an argument where it's like, oh, if you accidentally shoot your friend, it's okay if it's a.
No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying like it's less deadly.
Right.
Right? Because gun accidents do happen, but people do have a right to own a gun and they have a right to defend themselves with a gun.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
So like, and also it's just like again. If it's something that meaningfully impacts gun violence, fine. But something like that, I don't think would. In fact, handguns are actually usually the thing that have the most like violence associated with them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll admit that the thing I said before was not the best argument. I'll fully admit that. But like,
I just think America has a big problem because there is a fetishization of violence and gun ownership.
Oh, definitely. I think that is perhaps maybe a separate issue.
I think there are too many people in this country that are itching for a situation where they can kill another human being with their gun.
Yeah, we do glorify violence, and we also poo-poo the idea of taking care of your mental health, and I think that's those are related.
Yeah, I guess so, but it's not. Maybe it is a mental health issue, but it's sort of like this weird kind of lust. Like you're just waiting for that moment for somebody to cross you, and then you could give them the business because then you get to feel like a tough dude with a big dick.
I agree, but I think that's a cultural issue more than anything.
Yes. Well, that's what I was saying earlier, where I don't think this country will ever ban guns because it's so ingrained into what this country is. Like, it doesn't matter how many children or innocent people die. Like, people want to keep it. And it's also, once again, another fault of capitalism, too, because we have what is it? Was it New York? I don't know. I remember there was some law that made it, like, it's roughly improbable, not impossible, because then impossible means there's no way to do it. But improbable in the sense that you cannot sue gun manufacturers for gun crimes.
Okay.
Like if there's a mass shooting, you cannot sue the gun company.
Okay.
You think that's okay?
Well, again, it's not really I mean, you could sue them maybe in terms of like how they advertise guns
or sell their guns
or sell them,
the regulation of their guns or where their guns even go, because it's like how did this person even attain the gun in the first place?
Right. I mean, I guess in terms of like blanket protections, I don't know. I have some mixed on the one hand, like yeah, if somebody buys a gun and uses that gun, it's not the fault of the manufacturer. On the other hand, you could argue.
I will admit I want to say this because I am biased, and it is because of firsthand experience that I don't wish to talk about on the podcast.
Okay.
But I am biased, so if I do come across as a little like unwilling to budge, that's why.
Right.
So anyway, continue.
Yeah, but it's like if you want to talk about like the way in which they sell them or advertise them, fine. But it's like just suing them because they made the gun that was used, I don't agree with. And I don't know. How do you feel about that?
About if the people should sue the companies or not?
Yeah, and like what circumstance would you think that would be okay?
It's kind of what I said. It depends on how the person obtained the gun, because if it turns out like the company doesn't have as strict of like a regulatory distribution, then I think that should come into play.
Oh, absolutely.
Because then with these laws, you're removing all fault away from these companies, you know, and you're making it impossible for anybody to question these companies at all.
Yeah, guns should be. I mean, even though I like guns, they should be very heavily regulated.
Even though I own 72 different guns.
No, but they should be very, very regulated. I'm okay with that. It's just a matter of like, how hard do we make it for people who are obeying the law?
Listen, it's easy to get a gun in this country. You can cheat the whole system. Like there's the whole flea market rule?
Yeah.
Or what's the fucking
gun
term?
show?
Gun show rule.
No, that needs to go. That 100% needs to go. I'm totally fine with that. Because that is something that would meaningfully impact gun violence. Yeah, so is it where like you can buy a gun at a gun show and you can bypass certain regulations? in terms of selling guns. Yeah, no, that's bullshit. That needs to go. Guns need to
Yeah, you could just buy a gun from Cletus and then handshake a deal and you're good to go.
Yes, that needs to totally be gone. I'm totally okay with that. That is something that would meaningfully impact violence.
My dad knew a dude who ran a gun store in his garage, and like you could just buy a gun from him for like $100.
That should not be okay.
That's it.
That shouldn't be okay at all.
And it's just a random dude, and the dude's wife was very nice. Her name was Shelly. She died of a stroke. She was very... She's such a dick. And she was very nice to me. She used to give me cookies whenever I would go with my dad to the gun store, and the cookies were in the shape of rifles.
Oh, dude, that's poggers as fuck.
But they were snickerdoodles.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, so that was kind of badass. Rest in peace, Shelly, friend of the show.
So we do have a friend of the show.
Yeah, in hell.
That's good enough for me. I'll take it.
Okay. So, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is always a hard issue because, like, on one hand, I'm a big believer in like the right to self-defense and the ability to like own guns, but on the other hand, like when you're crafting policy, you have to actually make sure that what you're doing is going to meaningfully impact the overall problem. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't, I just don't see a point personally.
Okay. I just think guns are bad.
Fair enough, and I know the personal experience you're referring to, so I can't really blame you for feeling that way.
Yeah,
but I just wanted to kind of bring this up. I think it'd be an interesting conversation because we do have. I think this is probably
people who listen to this are going to be like, "What the fuck did he experience? What the hell happened?" I was in a gunfight with 20 different hitmen after they killed my dog, and I had to kill them in a techno club bathhouse.
Mr. Wick over here.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. But I part of the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I think it'd be an interesting conversation because, again, we do have... I think this is probably one of the biggest issues where we have disagreement.
Yeah, I'd say so because we pretty much agree on a lot of things. But
yeah.
This is... I don't know. I think this episode we've been really kind of debating.
Yeah, we have.
Which is cool.
Yeah. No, definitely more engagement for sure.
Okay, so... are you going to do your third story? Or do you want me to do mine and then we'll wrap it up?
Sure. Fuck it. So the FDA...
yeah, go for it. Yeah, we'll save best for last.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Yeah. The FDA is considering banning menthol cigarettes. Yes.
Menthol cigarettes?
Yeah.
They're going to ban them?
Yeah, one of the two types of cigarettes that are legal. Because they banned flavored cigarettes in during the Obama era, I believe.
We're done, Jonah. We're fucking done.
But it's just like...
The menthols are great.
But and also, it's just like, again, banning drugs doesn't meaningfully impact drug use. Banning menthols is not going to fucking...
You know in Japan they have chocolate-flavored cigarettes?
We used to have stuff like that.
We did?
Prior, in the Obama administration, they got rid of flavored cigarettes. So now...
Didn't Trump get rid of the flavored Juuls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes no sense, because like, the idea is, hey, we can't let kids get these. It's already illegal for children to buy them.
But how are our kids going to be cool if they can't smoke?
We need to stop 14-year-olds from juuling. So what we do is we raise the age to buy them from 18 to 21.
Yeah.
And then we ban the flavored ones. Like, what the fuck? I just don't...
Well, okay. Hypothetically, let's say we bought cigarettes and Juul pods when we were underage, which we would never do.
No,
we don't condone crime.
No, absolutely not.
Some nicotine stores... and smoke shops, they'll just sell it to you because they don't care.
Yeah. But I mean, like, what difference does it make? Like, why?
It's trying to eliminate the product. That's what they're getting at. Because I can understand that the flavored nicotine products, why they would want to get rid of it, because that's more palatable to people.
Okay.
Because it's not just a rough tobacco. You're not just inhaling smoke. You're inhaling smoke that tastes like cotton candy or some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
It's a more pleasant experience, which makes people want to do it more. It makes it easier to do. Right.
Okay. I don't know. For me, I just don't like banning things.
Is this more like a free market thing? Like we should sell whatever we want to, we should sell?
Or just like a freedom thing. Like, you know, if somebody like enjoys menthols, like why should they be punished because some stores are negligent and decide to sell to kids? That's an issue I think we should tackle more individually. Right? Because also...
Okay, can I just say one thing?
Sure.
At least...
No, you cannot say anything on this podcast. You are not allowed...
I am the second host.
The point of this podcast is to not talk.
Fair enough.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
In this country, it is 100% more of a taboo to smoke nowadays.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
It is a good thing. And you can look at our younger generations, people younger than us, even though we are the epitome of youth.
Yes,
You and I, like they're like, anybody who smokes is lame. They suck. And anybody who smokes,
you smoke cigarettes? No, you're supposed to smoke on puff bars, asshole.
You get high. I get high on life.
Yes, that is our generation.
That is our generation.
High on life and SSRIs.
Whoa, man! Way to call them out.
Yeah.
In other countries, smoking is kind of the culture and the lifestyle.
Oh yeah, no, I know. So I take Japanese classes at school, and like there was a TA from Japan who was talking about how like people in Japan smoke a lot.
Right.
Like it's a big thing over there.
Well, they get like smoke breaks. Like you're allowed. Like it's like a mandatory thing.
Oh really?
Yeah, well, not mandatory. Where it's like recommended. Where it's like legitimately part of the schedule. Like you get your smoke break.
Yeah, and it's and I mean I'm glad that that's less prevalent in our culture, but it's just like especially also there's another aspect to
I just don't get it. If people are gonna do it, they're gonna do it.
Exactly. That's my point. And it's just like there's another aspect to this too. You know who smokes menthols more than anyone?
In America?
Yeah.
Old people?
Black people. So there's a racial
Oh my god.
There's a racial aspect to this too, potentially.
Holy shit. You know what? I don't think it's just black people. I think it's more like
people of color in general.
People in color in general.
Yeah.
I know. I think menthols are pretty big in Hispanic community too.
Yeah. So it's
I'm half Hispanic, and a lot of my family members smoke menthols.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like, again, this is like infringing on freedom, and it's like if somebody enjoys menthols, fucking, they know it's bad for them. As long as people understand.
But it's the thing of adults. You know, like any consenting adult could do whatever they want as long as they want to do it.
Right, and as long as they're fully aware of what it is they're getting into. Like, I'm okay with regulating cigarettes and having like the warning labels and explaining like this can cause this and this.
That picture I sent you of the woman with the hole in the back of her throat.
The back of her throat.
You remember that? I showed, or maybe the top. Remember, I sent it to you on Discord.
Oh yeah, where like the roof of her mouth was destroyed.
No. I think it was the back of the throat because you could see the spine.
Oh, I thought it was like the roof where you could see the navel cavity. Ooh. Yeah. So stuff like that.
Yeah, put that on cigarette things.
Unironically.
Well, they already do that in other countries. They don't do that here.
Right. I'd be okay with that. I'd even be okay with like limiting nicotine levels because it makes it less addictive or easier to get off if nicotine levels are lower.
Sure.
But to just ban it outright, it's just like if somebody finds something they enjoy, just fucking let them enjoy it. If they're adults and they know what they're doing and they know what they're getting into, why? It's silly to me.
Well, okay, because they're going at it. At least they're saying it as they're going at it from a youth angle. They want to protect our youth,
the children. Yeah, but
protect the children. Boo hoo.
But again, like you address the issue of like
kids are going to do whatever the fuck they're going to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're going to get it. They're going to do it. No matter what you do, it's not going to be worth it. Like it's sort of the argument of trying to have teenagers not have sex or not drink alcohol
or not smoke weed or something like that.
Not smoke weed. Like it's going to happen.
Right.
It's part of life.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, but I don't. I've never seen such a big smoking culture than in France.
Really?
Because you can smoke anywhere, like literally anywhere. Like every place comes. I guess maybe the Netherlands is more lax because you can smoke anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in France, at least you can smoke indoors. Like most clubs and places have smoking rooms. I know in some places in America they still have smoking rooms.
Yeah.
But like in France, you can go to a cafe and they'll have ashtrays on every table, at least outside.
Yeah. Yeah, no. But yeah, smoking culture is bad. Smoking is bad. But if people want to do it,
let's say that.
But if people want to do it, they should be able to.
Yeah. PSA: smoking is bad. Smoking will kill you.
But you have the right to do it.
But if you do it,
this is America. This is America, goddammit.
But if you do it, you're badass.
And you look cool. Man, we're bad influences. We're really.
Don't listen to us. We're not good people.
We're just we're the epitome of youth, and the epitome of youth is stupid.
True.
So yeah, we're just dumb kids. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, dumb kid. Yeah, dumb kids.
Are we not?
No, we're not. We're not kids anymore.
we're in our early 20s. We're kind of we're not kids, but like we're not really fully adult either.
Maybe you're not.
Yeah, dude. You're just awesome. You're just way better. You're more attractive and have more girth to your cock. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm glad we settled that. All right. I think we can move on from this.
All that last stuff you said, agree with you 100%.
Great. I'm glad. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Okay, time to end this all with my grand finale of a story. Now, Jonah, what's your take on the Mafia?
Not poggers.
Pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
You know, despite all the gabagool they eat, not pretty cool. Not pretty cool at all.
You want to get rid of the Mafia, by the way, end the war on drugs. Unironically.
You really?
Yeah, because the
Mafia's always been around.
I know, but like a lot of times they subsist themselves off of like underground markets, and what bigger underground market is there than drugs, right? Mafias in the U.S. and organized crime, they get really big under prohibition because they sold alcohol.
That's true.
So yeah, and the war on drugs, just in general.
Some hot Mafia drug takes from Jonah. Okay, now this is barely a political story, but I wanted to mention it because I thought it was so funny.
Okay,
there was a man. His name is Marc Ferren Claude Biard. Cool name.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of the Mafia. He was a mobster. And I assume, yeah, he got caught. Oh, he was legit Mafia. He was from Italy.
Okay.
He's not a fake American mobster.
He's the real shit.
He's the real shit. And he's been on the run since 2014.
Okay.
Because Italian prosecutors ordered his arrest for trafficking in cocaine from the Netherlands to Italy.
What is it with the Netherlands? They seem to just be like a hotspot of drugs.
The Netherlands are like your cool older brother that like hangs out with you and like tells you shit about the real world.
Yeah, they are.
Anywho, since then, he's been on the run because he got caught.
Right.
Recently, he's been found.
Oh, thank God.
And how they found him is the funniest thing in the world.
Really?
Because apparently, they found him because he's been living in, what was it, Boca Raton? Boca Chica in the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
They found him because he started a YouTube cooking channel. It's because he wanted to teach people how to make authentic Italian cuisine.
Fuck it, dude. He's just educating people. Let my man go. He didn't do nothing. He just had a good time with cocaine and taught people how to cook Italian food.
And he pulled a Binging with Babish, if you know who he is.
No, I don't.
Where he only shows like his torso. He doesn't show his head. He shows his torso and everything underneath him. He just shows himself cooking the food.
I guess that makes sense if you're on the run from the authorities.
Right.
Yeah.
However, he didn't cover up his tattoos.
Ooh.
So they were able to match the tattoos, and then they arrested him. So, once again, another chef persecuted by the law. Cooking rights been violated once again.
Yeah, I mean, first we got gun rights, then we got smoking rights, now we have cooking rights, and this is bullshit.
It's terrible.
Literally 1984.
I would like to mention that everybody in the Dominican in his local community called him the foreigner. Oh, you're looking for. Oh, you're. Is there? Oh, you're looking for.
You're looking for the only white guy here? Oh yeah, no, I can tell you where he is.
You're looking for somebody who's not around here? Well, I mean, there is the foreigner. Oh, who's this foreigner guy? Well, he's the only guy in town who's not from here.
I almost feel bad, dude. He was just trying to like.
He was just vibing. He was just cooking.
He was literally just vibing. That's why.
Could you imagine where it's like, man, I'm bored. Quarantine sucks. You know what I'm gonna do? Cooking channel. And that was his downfall.
Yeah, man.
Lesson from that story: never try. Never do anything.
Never do anything less.
Because then the government will find you and throw you in jail.
Yeah.
I had a dream I got arrested by the FBI last night.
Oh, really? What'd you do?
Nothing. Recently I went to the DMV. And in my dream, I went to the DMV. And when I was there, like, the dude checking my paper in the dream, the dude checking my papers was like, weird. And I'm like, what's wrong? It's like, nothing. I'm like, oh, okay. And then, we figure everything out. He gives me my papers, and then I go sit in my car. For some reason, in the dream, I'm just sitting in my car like I'm waiting for something.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I hear, "Step out of the vehicle." And I turn, and the FBI are all behind my car. And I step out. I'm like, "What's going on?" And it's like, "You're under arrest." And I'm like, "Why?" And they don't tell me why. And in the dream, my heart started pounding, and it turned out my heart was pounding in real life.
Oh, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's okay, kids. That's an adult nightmare. After a while, when you're a kid, you have nightmares of being like chased by monsters.
Oh yeah.
Or like ghouls and goblins and whatnot.
When I was a kid, I had nightmares of literally being thrown around my room without being able to open my eyes.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you're an adult, you have dreams of tax fraud and accidentally downloading a virus on your computer and of getting arrested by the FBI for a crime you don't know what you did.
So you never found out why
I woke up because I started to freak out.
Oh, right.
Because I started to have heart palpitations because I was fucking freaking out because I was being arrested by the FBI.
I mean, fair enough.
That's an adult nightmare when you worry about realistic problems. I've had so many nightmares about accidentally downloading a virus on my computer.
Really?
I swear to God.
I don't think it's that difficult
to not do that. I know, but it's like one of those paranoid things where I'm like, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, no, viruses suck.
And with that amazing comment, I think we can close this episode off. A bit of a shorter episode, but we covered a lot.
Yeah, we did, and I think this is definitely
optimal runtime.
Yeah, for sure, and we got a lot in. So
we really streamlined everything.
Yeah, we're getting this down to a science. We got it.
So, if you like the more it's not really off the cuff. If these live action videos as opposed to just listening to our beautiful voices, let us know in the comments below. And as you said at the beginning of the show, if you want us to talk about anything, you can let us know on the what's the name of the subreddit?
State-Sanctioned, SANC, State-Sanctioned podcast.
And the email?
The State-Sanctioned podcast at outlook.com.
So if you want to let us know about anything, just send us something there.
You can also tweet at us, can't you?
Yeah, there's the State-Sanctioned show.
Sanctioned show, I think it is.
Yeah. Sanctioned show. Yeah, just Sanctioned show on Twitter. Anyway, I'm Lewis Southard, incredibly famous writer.
I'm Jonah Marcus, some fucking guy.
If you want to find me on social media, I'm just at Lewis Southard. If you want to find him, he's not there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.
I hope you did too. Yeah. I also hope you enjoyed.